Hello and welcome to another update of the ocean conditions using satellite sea surface temperature and ocean color chlorophyll imagery from the weekend of June 8th, 2025. Overall, the Gulf Stream is about 83 to 82 degrees extending through the Florida Straits and then north to North Carolina. We'll start to the south and work our way north here, starting with a little zoom in. Off the Keys, temperatures are relatively homogeneous through the area with just a slight 84 to 83 degree edge here visible along the Gulf Stream with the darker red and the lighter red. But we can certainly see here this relatively large eddy formed off of Key West here. And then to the north, some smaller eddies along the upper Keys and then along South Florida that we'll take a closer look at through the chlorophyll imagery because it's a little bit easier to see. But working our way north, we can see here an eddy off of the Stuart, Florida area. Relatively stable conditions here from Sebastian to north of Cape Canaveral. We got a little eddy here north of Cape Canaveral, as well as a larger eddy here off of the Jacksonville area. To the north, relatively stable conditions here, extending north from the Savannah, Georgia, up to Georgetown area with a deflection of the Gulf Stream here to the east and an eddy here circulating some nice water a little bit further inshore. And then to the north, we can see here what is essentially a pair of eddies. So we have an inshore eddy here circulating some water inshore, as well as a little bit further offshore eddy circulating more Gulf Stream associated water off of the Cape Fear area here. And then a relatively large eddy here off of the Cape Lookout area, and a second relatively large eddy here off of the Cape Hatteras area. Looking at the associated chlorophyll data, again, we'll zoom in here a little bit so we can get a little bit nicer view of the area, particularly off the Keys. So again, a relatively stable, green to blue eddy, green to blue edge here off the Keys. We'll zoom in quite a bit here and we can see kind of this telltale sign of an eddy, right? With this nice blue to green edge and then a large offshore flow just south of the eddy. Similarly, that is more or less the general shape of the smaller one down here. Stable conditions along South Florida, and then again, we can see this blue water push inshore here off of the South Florida area with this little set indicating action. Certainly, if you can find one of these eddies during the week through an analysis, that will provide your best area to fish. Again, here's this eddy with some nice blended blue water. We'll zoom out here a little bit. Here's, again, nice blended blue water circulating inshore along the Jacksonville area. Relatively stable conditions here, extending north off of the Georgetown area. We have the Gulf Stream kind of deflect, and then we can see here how this is more or less two eddies we discussed earlier. A relatively large eddy here off the Cape Lookout area that certainly everybody's going to be tracking through the Big Rock tournament. And then finally, this kind of leftover eddy here that's been circulating through the area for the past couple days. For the most recent analysis of your area to find these favorable features, you can order online at ROFFS.com. You can call us at the office at 321-723-5759, or you can email us at fishing@roffs.com. Thank you very much. Tight lines.